All right, recording is started, and this is the July 12th, not 13th, Rook community meeting here. So let's get this thing started. There is not any planned release for the v1.8 release branch. So let me actually go ahead in the Zoom chat. I will drop a link to this agenda document so folks can add things if they want to. So that's available in the chat now. But yes, so back to the releases and milestones. Yeah, we don't have an upcoming patch release for 1.8 that is expected. So we'll go ahead and skip past that unless somebody raises an objection. We'll go back to it. Otherwise, though, we did have a recent release in the v1.9 branch. So you can see the release notes here from 1.9.7. Any big features or things to take note of here worth calling out? Anybody for 1.9? Oops, this is 1.9.6. Hold on a second.
Yep, where's that 7? Was that the wrong link?
Yeah, let me I'll just fix this link here real quick. So that should be the real 1.97. Now, anything to call out specifically from the 1.9.7 patch release just last week?
Let's see, nothing too special. I feel like just fixes, yeah, some Helm properties. Some, maybe one I'll mention is disabling the insecure global IDs. So that's a setting that we've disabled that like for the last year. I think it was since specific, but the difference is now that in new clusters we disable it immediately and still basically waiting until the alert is raised. So it was always kind of disturbing. It's always kind of disturbing to see in a new cluster if something is alerting, right? But then we suppress it immediately. So we just avoid the whole thing and disable that from the start. So
better experience.
That's a better experience.
There we go.
Yep.
Nice. All right. So that is 1.9.7 that is released last week. We'll probably have a regular recurring next patch release in the 1.9 branch for 1.9.8. So let's go ahead and take a quick look at the project board and see if there's anything that we want to call out there for upcoming 1.9.8. It's probably just, recurring, regular cadence type of thing. So I don't know if there's anything really driving it specifically any sooner than that.
Yeah, exactly. I think it'll just be the cadence. I am, see, this week I'm online all week, but then the next couple of Thursdays I'll be on PTO. So I thought I'll just move it to Tuesday, a few days later than the cadence. And then don't have to worry about it.
Recurring Thursdays off?
Just 2 in a row.
Nice. Cool. Well,
yep.
Don't want to have a release on your day off. That wouldn't be very fair.
I just love to do the releases, and
you do.
I mean, if somebody else wants to do it that day, that works too. but that's fine if we don't. So
any particular issues that we want to call out moving towards the 1.9.8?
Let's see. There was one. Oh, I can't remember what it was a few days ago. Siobhan, were we talking about an issue that we're surprised it wasn't? Oh, that's right. I think we merged it the day after their last release, and I can't remember what the issue was. And I was wondering if more upstream users would hit it. Siobhan, do you remember what I'm talking about? Or it might take me a minute to find it.
Is Siobhan on the call?
See Siobhan on the call. No, maybe.
I was like, who are you talking to?
I'm just talking to myself. Yeah. Let's see. So, oh, that's right. It was a missing port in the missing port for the webhook in the Helm chart. So, without that, a user was failing to install the Helm chart. I haven't seen any other reports of failures to install it. So I guess I was waiting to see if someone else reported that was an issue for them, so we could get a new Helm chart release out with that fixed. But I haven't seen anything else. So I guess we'll just wait for the cadence.
Okay, got it. And is okay, and that is that issue on the 1.9 board, this one here, the one that this fixes?
Let's see, was it?
Does not look like it's, yeah. If you want to, Travis, if
No,
you want to
I
go ahead
added
and
it.
add that into the 1.9 project, so that it's got some visibility on the board, that would be perfect.
Yeah. I mean, it'll go
All
right to the
right.
done column, but
Great. Yeah, all the better. All right. Cool. So yeah, thanks for calling that out, Travis. And yeah, I guess we can keep an open eye on that one for getting some more reports on that, and then we can expedite a fix if we need to.
yeah.
All right, let's move along then to 1.10 coming up. It's somewhere around the month out time frame from early August. So let's take a look at the board here and see anything that we want to dive into as part of 1.10 discussion.
Yeah, there's one in progress that Shabam's working on with the client.admin key, or using a Rook key instead. I'd really like to see that get done by the time we before we ship, or else it'll just wait for the next major release, I think. So, but I know Shabam has had other things come up, and we may not get that in time. I'm hoping we can turn back to that one in the next day or two and focus on it, get it done. It'd just be a nice to have, really nice in the next release. But otherwise, I think other things are just, yep, we need to do them, but really not blocking for the release either for the most part. It's just like, we're getting the features in we can. And I'm just looking at the one like update the operator SDK, and that's a huge work item that's probably just going to get pushed out one more release.
Okay.
For example.
And this one here, this is focused on design doc only, not so we don't expect to be implementing the proposals within this design here, or?
Well, there were multiple improvements, and we've had multiple separate PRs from Jiffin on designs and implementation. So I don't recall why we had that single issue tracking design docs. That's kind
Looks
of
like it's a PR itself, not an issue.
Oh, you're right. It's a PR. Okay. Oh, that's a specific improvement around multi-site. I was thinking it was like tracking multiple designs for multi-site.
That's what the title made it look like as well.
Exactly. So it's just a design for multi-site improvements. And I think this one didn't have as high priority from Jiffin, but we've been making good progress with the RGW related PRs. Blaine and I have been reviewing and merging and things. So I feel like we're making good progress in these.
Are there, so then it seems like it might be possible that there's some issues here that are just not on the board. Then it sounds like with some of the improvements that we're making around RGW multi-site stuff that they're being done, but they're just not included in the project and showing up on the board maybe.
That's right. We need to make sure all his issues are tagged for one bin.
Yeah,
that he's planning.
Okay, that sounds good then. It gives better insight into what's going on in the milestone as we're making progress on it. All right, anybody, anything else for 1.10 that folks want to bring up?
Well, I guess I should put dates on more specific for early August, but by the next meeting, I think it'll make sense. At least.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Because I guess in the next meeting, it'll be the 26th. So early August will be around the corner.
So that'd be pretty close to it. Yeah, exactly. That sounds great to follow up on then. All right. Okay, so then if that's everything for 1.10, then that concludes our milestone checkup, and we can move ahead on to community topics. So I'll go ahead and pop open this one here. And yeah, I know Satoru's not on the call.
Yeah, I put that in the agenda just as awareness. We finally now have support for OSDs on top of LVs. Yeah, so it's nice to have, so you finally worked through that and tested it and merged it. It's not backported yet to 1.9. I just asked him on the PR if there's any reason not to, but I think we should just go ahead and backport it. It's been a really frequently requested feature, and it's not risky or high impact, I don't think, to just go ahead and backport it.
And then this is another project, or sorry, issue that, since it's resolved, it's in mainline now, that we want to put into 1.10 also to get more visibility into what's going into that release.
Like in the release notes, or I mean,
like that being in the 1.10 project.
Yeah.
Or yeah.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, this is great though. This is great. Fair amount of support for this as well.
Yeah, that PR has been open for over a year. I mean, lots of people liked it. So.
Nice. It's great. It's great to get that to the finish line. Yep, and that'll be in 1.10, and then it sounds like we're leaning towards including it in 1.9 and a backport as well.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, yeah, so the enabling telemetry. Blaine, was that you on the agenda here?
I guess I added that, but
oh, you did. Okay.
Blaine has input, I'm sure. Well, like a month ago, since a month ago, we've got a release out where Rook adds telemetry, reports telemetry to Ceph, and then in Quincy 17.2.1, they have the ability to basically collect all the Rook metrics, but we haven't communicated to users that, hey, go enable this for us if you're on the latest Quincy's, so you can start helping us understand what's out there in the wild, right? So I think I just put it in here to point out, hey, let's communicate it and tell people the toolbox commands for now and whatever. I don't know, Blaine, what are your thoughts around that? We should just do it, right? Not too complicated. Let's see, can't hear you, Blaine. Looks like you're unmuted though.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't know what was happening there. Yeah, I think it makes sense to go ahead and do. I think our meeting with the Ceph telemetry team, I think gave us all the information we kind of need. And I think we have an understanding of kind of some of the corner cases we might have to consider when doing the feature, just to make sure that we go through some of the minor upgrade scenarios to make sure that Rook properly handles accepting the delta changes when telemetry is added. So I think going from Quincy.0 to Quincy.1 will be a good test for kind of checking that works right in development, and then seeing how stuff behaves.
Well, I guess if we ask people who are already on the .1 to just go ahead and enable it, then we don't have to worry about that upgrade. It'll be in the future we have to worry about it.
Right.
I was thinking.
Yeah, I guess I was just meaning as far as developing the Rook internals. We can, I mean, we can certainly ask people to enable it, but as far as implementing this in code, I think testing the .0 to .1 Quincy will give us that delta change to make sure that we're testing the corner case of what happens when what happens when Ceph adds telemetry items, can Rook automatically accept those or not? And I think we do want to automatically accept those if users fill in the spec to do so.
Right. And I guess that's the second bullet that I had in the agenda there, which is we need to expose it in the cluster CR, which is just not today. So for now, it's just a toolbox command anyway.
Oh, I see. Okay, you were thinking just of documenting, like requesting them enable it first, and then.
Right, just to put in Slack, take users, please enable this. Here's how you do it. And the feature will have a setting to make it easier. But
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I think we can. I think it would be really good to call out to users, like in documentation and Slack and whatever. Please do this. It will help us know what is most effective to work on in the future.
yeah, exactly. So, okay, yeah, we can take that offline, but just wanted to raise awareness here.
And so, so
Would
you
like-
say that we could do that in a phased process then of, hey, communicate it out into the docs, give a toolbox command to run to enable and opt in and just get going with it. And then later on a second phase, exposing it as like a configuration option within the cluster custom resource.
Right, yeah.
Cool,
Because
cool.
as of today, they can enable it. So let's tell them how to enable it.
Yeah, so give that possibility.
Yes.
Cool, that makes sense. All right. So yeah, so Octopus has been removed now in 110.
Yep.
Or will
so
be
that's
in 110, I
master.
guess. Or in master, I guess.
Yep. So that it's merged. It's done for 1.10, basically. Yeah, we actually had quite a few version checks around Octopus, so it cleaned up. There was an amazing amount of code change, but mostly deleting code, which is always nice. But yep, it's cleaned up now.
All right, that's great. And then CI looks good as well with that change in mainline.
Yep, I don't break stuff in main. What do you think?
Wasn't an accusation.
Yeah.
All right, and then exploring bots for assigning issues, rerunning CI, etc. I think maybe this comment is associated with that.
Yeah, Parth, you want to talk about what you're looking into?
Yeah, sure. So actually, I was thinking like if there can be a bot with upstream repo that can help like the upstream collaborators like auto assign issues and like do the stuff that a collaborator can do and without having those collaborator permissions, because you cannot go and like give all the permissions to everyone. So something like if we go and commit assign, so that issue can be auto assigned to a particular developer if he needs to take that issue up. So the auto assign issue PR has been ready, and by that, like adding that, I was thinking like why not we can go ahead and also add the features like rerunning the CI and something like adding the labels in the issue and all. So yeah, so basically I want to ask like if there is any better way for doing that, and like there is something like already exists bot that does so, or maybe what all features apart from these that we can think about for providing. Yeah, that's all.
Yeah, in general, I just agree that it's nice to have bots so people can do some of these actions themselves. But until now, we've really relied on, we'll just add people to the organization so that they can just update issues and things themselves instead of using bot commands. But when someone new comes to the project, then they have to request access or don't realize. So I don't know. I'm kind of torn between how much would we use the bots after we have them versus if we just keep adding people to the org, maybe that keeps things simpler too. But yeah, I guess I'm curious if others are aware of bots that would be useful and we want to bring in. Like Jared, are there any outbound or bots that outbound is using that you found useful, or other people? Just curious. Because reusing bots is great. I just want to be clear what our goal, or if we'll use them after the fact.
Yeah, good question, Travis. Yeah, like I think that there's like on some other projects here, there's a couple of more scoped things. Like I haven't really, besides Prowl, that Kubernetes uses upstream, I haven't seen very many bots that have like general purpose, and it's more like very scoped items, like a bot to open backports for you, or a bot to like assign like somebody. So like I haven't seen general ones that have like a more broad coverage of features than Prowl. Basically, is the only one I've really seen that people are using for that. And that's kind of a little heavy-handed.
And Prowl does so much. Yeah, it's too much for me, I think. Exactly.
Maybe we can have something like that, like a broader mindset, like with all the functionality in a bot.
Yeah. So if it's about assigning an issue, honestly, I think we're pretty flexible to add people to the org, and then they can just self-assign it anyway. So maybe we don't need a bot for that one. The Mergify bot has clearly been a lifesaver.
Right.
So rerunning the CI also can just be solved by add them to the org. But
that can be possible. But like what I see, like there are like lots of people opening an issue and like trying to help them, like by raising a PR. And sometimes what happens, like somebody is like already trying to contribute, and they are not being already auto saying because the ones who have the access have not given the collaborator access. Then they try to mess up because they are already like building that, and somebody else trying to come over that and pick that up. So yeah, I would say a start would be good, but anyhow, adding a collaborator is the task what we do. But yeah, it's something like extra that we can give to them.
Okay. And you're experimenting with one now that's auto assigning, and maybe that's good for now. But what was that?
Sure.
Maybe just in regards to like being able to work on Rook as well, like so to say outside of the Rook organization. I don't know, this kind of comes to mind, especially when we're talking about bots and such as well. Is I don't know, to a certain degree, that, for example, for the CI in general, there, like a bit of more general point as well, that we should look into adding a bit more documentation around that as well. Like, for example, it's not a secret or anything, but like at Core Technologies, where we want basically have a fork of the Rook project, and we want to have all the CIs, all the CI pipelines, for example, to run and all. And we're basically more or less moving from YAML files to bash scripts and everything, trying to figure out like which variables are needed and all that. And well, at one point we hope to fully have like a full list of environment variables which you need to set if you would want to run it in in your fork, for example. So this might also come down to like if and how these bots are implemented, if they should be able to be run in a fork or not, or if they should just be for the main repository.
Mm-hmm. True. Yeah, it affects other forks if we're not careful. Okay. I mean, that's good for discussion, and yeah, thanks for the input. I think we'll go back and experiment some more.
Yeah, and then one that might be particularly interesting as well too is after the like assigning one, like we said that there's some work on that one, like rerunning the CI to be able to get PRs moving. That one could be interesting, but likely is mitigated if somebody is contributing a PR that like we making them a member of the organization is probably fairly standard for, along with your contribution that you're making. So that one might not be too bad. But yeah, that one can be a pain if you're trying to make progress and you need to kick the CI again, and you can't make that. It's not a self-service way to do that.
They just got to force push. So
Self-service.
there is a self-service there. You have to change something and push.
Yeah. Workaround, we'll call it. Self-service workaround.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, sweet. So anything else on the agenda then? Other items that folks want to bring up? All right. Well, if that's everything for this week, then we'll go ahead and follow up on doing some of the housekeeping to get things into the 1.10 milestone and to get a date set on that one. And we'll see each other in 2 weeks for the next community meeting.
All right. Thanks. Have a good
All right.
day.
Good to see
week.
y'all. Take
Bye.
care.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, bye.